Sup, dude? In 2025, Russell Westbrook is a legit starting point guard for the championship contending Nuggets. The 36-year-old future Hall of Famer still has quite the knack for scoring in the paint, dishing out assists, and getting deflections. So far this season, he's averaging a respectable 13 points while shooting 55% on his twos and 33% on his threes. In addition to that, he's been creating great looks for his teammates, averaging about 6.5 assists a night and crashing the boards hard, snagging around 5 rebounds per game. That's pretty awesome for an old head not named LeBron, and it would be even awesomer if he got a ring before he retires. He has a good chance this year with his groundedness leading the charge, but whatever happens, his legacy is basically cemented. It's a shame people are already starting to forget about the absolute fuckery he pulled on a nightly basis during the 2010s. So with that in mind, let's take a trip down memory lane. 17 years ago, way back in 2008, the economy was in shambles and many Americans were depressed. However, Russell Westbrook's sick basketball skills were about to turn those frowns upside down. The late blooming 6'3" guard wasn't just any ordinary player. He was the definition of boom or bust, minus the bust part. He was about to boom all over the place. Now, his freshman year of college was a bit of a snoozer. He kept the bench real warm, seeing just 9 minutes of action a game, but despite playing scrub minutes, he made the most of it. Per 40, the dude had a promising stat line of 15 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, and nearly 2 steals. In terms of actual stats, he averaged like 3 points. It wasn't much, but it was honest work. On the depth chart, he was basically one of the 1,000 dudes waiting to bang Bonnie Blue, but he was near the front of the line. Fast forward to his sophomore year, he finally got his chance. Coach started him alongside Darren Collison, and it wasn't long before he made his way on the draft boards. His quickness and leaping ability were on full display, allowing him to slash into the paint and finish all over taller defenders. Pause. Outside the arc, his 3-ball was not that great, but it was a little more effective when his feet weren't moving. Long-range shooting off the dribble wasn't really his forte, neither was making smart decisions, but his pros heavily outweighed his cons. He had a ridiculous motor, solid ball handling, and great floor leadership, which really made him stand out. The cherry on top was the fact that his D was phenomenal. Pause. He had these long arms and crackhead-like energy that made him a pest to go up against. One of his most memorable defensive performances came on February 17th, 2008, when he made OJ Mayo his bitch, limiting him to just 4 points on 2 for 10 shooting and 10 turnovers. With that performance and many other similar ones, he took home Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year. His excellent play brought the Bruins all the way to the Final Four where they faced off against Memphis, and in that game, Russell let his nuts hang. The dude scored a super efficient 22 points, but it didn't matter. They scored less points than Memphis, and after that L, Brody said, "Fuck running it back, I'm going to the league." Now, you wouldn't think a guy who averaged 12 points per game would be a top 5 draft pick, but OKC's GM Sam Presti was watering at the mouth for the guy. Presti had/still has an eye for diamonds in the rough, and he decided to gamble on Westbrook, taking the young guard with the 4th pick. While Presti knew he had a lot of promise, I don't think he could have known just how dominant Russell would become. Though the dominance didn't come right away. His first 2 years were rough. He truly embodied the name Westbrook. The guy shot like he told dudes in the mob to bet his under. On about 14 shots a night, he put up close to 16 points, hitting 40% from the field, and out in 3-point land, he was really riding the struggle bus. He attempted 1.5 long bombs a night, but just 25% went through the net. Spoiler alert, efficiency never really became his strong suit, but who cares? That stuff is for nerds. Westbrook could punch that fucker like the rim called him a slur. By the end of year 2, it was his time to shine in his first playoff series ever, and surprisingly, he was really efficient, minus the last 2 games. Through the first 4, he averaged 22 points, shooting 55% from the field, but then with the series all knotted up, he shitted his pants. He shot 11 for 33 in the final 2 games, including an abysmal 8 turnovers in Game 5. OKC lost both and went home sad, but little did they know they were on the cusp of massive success. Entering the 2010-11 season, the Thunder were stacked with talent and ready to take the next step. KD had already established himself as one of the league's most lethal scorers. Westbrook was quickly evolving into a dynamic slashing playmaking god, and James Harden flashed star potential off the bench. Anchoring their defense, Serge Ibaka provided elite rim protection, while the GOAT Thabo Sefolosha locked down the perimeter. Along with that, Durant and Westbrook's chemistry was electric. KD's limitless range stretched defenses, opening lanes for Brody to attack the rim or kick it out for open looks. Their offense was truly explosive, but it was their tenacious defense that completed the puzzle. With Ibaka and Big Perk patrolling the paint and Sefolosha applying relentless pressure on the outside, opposing teams struggled mightily to get buckets. Prior to the season, they were predicted to be one of the best teams in the league, and they proved the media right, winning 55 games in a stacked Western Conference. Conference. A giant factor in their success was Russell officially becoming arguably the second best point guard in the NBA. He averaged 22 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals while hitting his shots at a bit higher clip than before. He was named an All-Star for the first time, in addition to making it onto the All-NBA second team. This breakout season was the beginning of a meteoric rise that would see him become one of the most dynamic players in NBA history. His ability to impact the game in basically every aspect was a result of tireless offseason work and a refined, little bit more controlled approach. The dude's ability to dissect defenses and create scoring opportunities for himself and his teammates was unparalleled. In addition to that, his ball handling had improved to the point where he was almost better at handling balls than your mom. He could consistently break down defenders off the dribble, and that inside game of his was turning into his bread and butter. Despite all the good fortune in the playoffs that year, he was wildly inefficient, but his teammates picked up the slack. They went on a run as a testament to their cohesion and depth, making it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, where the Mavs unfortunately put it in their butt. Russ's shot selection was about as good as Helen Keller's. He had a few great games, like Game 1 of the first round where he dropped a super efficient 31, hitting 3 out of his 4 threes, or Game 4 of the semis where he had a 40 ball, but overall he was building houses out there with all those bricks. The 2011-12 season was a turning point for Westbrook and the Thunder. After the heartbreak of getting bounced by Irk and the Dallas Mavericks, the team came back hungrier than ever. Westbrook, now entering his 4th year, was no longer just a raw athletic point guard with potential. He was inevitable. His game had matured, and while he still had his moments of wild recklessness, his ability to take over was undeniable. That season, he averaged 23.5 points on his best efficiency yet, earning his second consecutive All-Star nod and All-NBA second team selection. His explosiveness was unmatched, and he became one of the most feared players in the league. If you gave him an inch of space, he'd take a mile, often finishing with thunderous dunks that would make the crowd lose their shit. But it wasn't just his athleticism that stood out. His mid-range jumper was becoming a very reliable weapon too. With him, Durant, and Harden leading the charge, the Thunder were a juggernaut, finishing the lockout-shortened regular season with a 47-19 record, securing the second seed in the West. In the playoffs, Westbrook kept his stellar play up, showcasing his growth when it came to big moments. The Thunder stormed through the Western Conference, defeating the Mavericks, Lakers, and Spurs to reach the NBA Finals for the first time since the franchise relocated to Oklahoma City. It only took them like 4 years. In the finals, the Thunder faced the Heatles, led by the glorious LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh. Westbrook had a historic Game 4, dropping 43 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists in a must-win game to tie the series. As he relentlessly attacked and kept the Thunder alive, it became a game for the ages. Unfortunately, they lost that one and the next one, losing the series after winning just 1 game. The following season, Harden got traded to the Rockets, which made Westbrook's role expand even further. He was the clear right-hand man to KD, and his responsibilities increased. The team relied on him more, and he lived up to it, earning his 3rd straight All-Star and All-NBA selection. However, life ain't all sunshine and rainbows. In the first round of the playoffs, he tore his meniscus. That injury sidelined him for the remainder of the postseason, and KD couldn't hang on without him, getting eliminated in the second round by the Memphis Grizzlies. Westbrook's injury was a major setback, but it lit a fire under his ass. He underwent surgery and worked tirelessly to rehab, but then he got surgery and missed half of the 2014 season. He healed up for the playoffs and helped them make it back to the Western Conference Finals, but unfortunately they played the beautiful game Spurs, who dominated them with their white AAU team style of play, and then they went on to win it all. At this point, Brody was 26, and after the injuries and heartbreak, it ended up being another challenging year for him. Durant missed significant time with a foot injury, and Russell was forced to put the team on his back. He responded by putting up MVP caliber numbers, averaging 28 points, 8.5 assists, and 7 rebounds per game. He led the league in scoring and recorded a league-high 11 triple-doubles, showcasing his all-around brilliance. Despite his heroics, the Thunder missed the playoffs, but you couldn't deny the fact that he was now a superstar. He finished 4th in MVP voting and got named to his first All-NBA first team. The season after, with Durant healthy again, the Thunder were back in championship contention. Westbrook became the first player since Magic Johnson to average at least 23 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds in a season. Along with that, he put up 18 triple-doubles, helped the Thunder finish the regular season with 55 wins, and then he played a pivotal role in their deep playoff run. They made it to the Western Conference Finals, where they faced the God Squad Golden State Warriors, who had just set the NBA record with 73 wins in the regular season. Westbrook was phenomenal, averaging 26.7 points, 11 assists, and 7 rebounds in the series. Through 4, the Thunder had a 3-1 lead, and it looked to be all but over, but the Warriors shocked them like one of those fake gum packs, winning 4 straight in the series. It was a devastating loss, but Westbrook wasn't about to give up. KD was, though. That series would mark the end of an era in Oklahoma City. In the offseason, Durant turned into a supervillain in the basketball world by signing with the super team who just kicked his ass, leaving Westbrook all by himself in Oklahoma. Pretty sad, but what followed was one of the most remarkable individual seasons in NBA history. The 2016-17 season was his magnum opus. With Durant gone, the weight of the Thunder franchise rested squarely on the Ninja Turtles' shoulders, and he responded with all gas and no brakes. From the very first game, he played with an intensity and ferocity that was unmatched, channeling his pent-up anger in every dribble, pass, and dunk. The result? A historic campaign that saw him average a triple-double for the first time since Oscar Robertson. He finished the season with jaw-dropping averages of 31.6 points, 10.7 rebounds, and 10.5 assists per game. He recorded a ridiculous 42 triple-doubles, breaking Oscar Robertson's single-season record of 41, and he carried the Thunder to the 6th seed in the West. Night after night, he put on a show, whether it was hitting game-winning shots, throwing down the hammer, or dishing out flashy dimes to his teammates. His relentless drive and will to win were on full display, and he became the embodiment of the phrase, "leave it all on the court." One of the most iconic moments of the season came on April 9th, 2017, in a game against the Nuggets. Westbrook dropped 50 points, 16 rebounds, and 10 assists, including a game-winning 36-foot buzzer beater to secure the dub. It was his 42nd triple-double of the season, and the shot sent the crowd into a frenzy. That game encapsulated everything about his historic year: his clutch gene, his refusal to back down, and his ability to single-handedly will his team to victory. Even though Durant turned into a snake, the Thunder remained a playoff team, and Westbrook's heroics earned him the 2017 MVP. Dude proceeded to go absolutely stupid in the first round, averaging a 37-point triple-double, but he couldn't do it all himself, and they lost in 5. The year after saw him continue his buttfuckery of the league, as he averaged another triple-double, becoming the first player in NBA history to average one in back-to-back seasons. OKC also made a significant move by acquiring playoff P and Melo, forming a new big three in Oklahoma City. While those three struggled to find consistent chemistry, Westbrook's individual brilliance remained undeniable. In the 2018 playoffs, he put up a valiant effort, averaging 29 points, a staggering 12 rebounds, and 7.5 assists against the Utah Jazz. However, yet again they fell in the first round, and questions about Westbrook's ability to lead a team deep into the playoffs began to surface. Despite the criticism, his passion and competitiveness never wavered. He continued to play with the same fire that had defined his whole career, earning the respect of fans and peers alike. The next season, he averaged his third triple-double in a row, becoming the first player in NBA history to do that. Alongside Paul George, who had an MVP-caliber year, Westbrook led the Thunder to another playoff appearance. However, they were once again eliminated in the first round, this time by the Portland Trail Blazers. Lillard's iconic series-clinching buzzer beater over PG in Game 5 was a heartbreaking end to the season. It was good defense, though. In July 2019, after getting bounced in the first round for all those years, the Thunder made a blockbuster trade, sending Westbrook to the Rockets in exchange for Chris Paul and some draft picks. The move reunited him with his former teammate James Harden and marked the end of an era in Oklahoma City. His time with the Thunder had been nothing short of legendary, as he left as the franchise's all-time leader in points, assists, and triple-doubles. His impact on the city and organization was immeasurable, and he will forever be remembered as the heart and soul of the Thunder. In Houston, he embraced a new role alongside Harden, averaging 27 points, but with his new role, he was unable to average his 4th triple-double in a row. The star duo made it to the playoffs, but they fell short in the second round against the eventual champion Lakers. And just like that, his time in Texas was over. They traded him to the Wizards, where he continued to defy Father Time. Many seem to forget, but at 32 years old, the dude averaged yet another triple-double, all while leading the league in assists for the 3rd time. He also broke Oscar Robertson's all-time triple-double record. His insane production helped Washington secure a playoff spot, but like clockwork, it was a first-round exit. As Westbrook's career went on, he regressed a lot, but fast forward to 2025, he is still playing at a high level. With the Nuggets, he's found a new home as an energetic veteran presence, playing a key role on a championship contender. He's matured in his play, controlling his tempo while still unleashing the athleticism when needed. His role is more measured, more calculated, but still with that Westbrook edge that made him one of the most electrifying players in NBA history. And though his career is winding down with a potential championship in the cards, one thing is for certain: Westbrook's place in NBA history is secure. From the fiery, chaotic young guard to the seasoned leader in Denver, Westbrook's journey is a testament to growth, resilience, and unmatched heart. No matter what happens this season, he's already earned his spot as one of the most dynamic players to ever touch the hardwood. That's all for this one. Big thank you to the Goobers, Sheesh, Made ZO2, Aaron Stark, Nolan Fincher, Quinn Murphy, Braid Thompson, HTL, and Tippy Lou. You can click here to watch my last video. It's about Gilbert Arenas. Thanks for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed. Bye, dude.